Hanapepe is known as Kauai's biggest little town. Located on the southwestern side of the island, a short turn off Kamuali'i Highway will lead you to streets lined with dozens of shops housed in pre-World War II buildings. One of those shops is the only dedicated bookstore on the entire island.
I may be the boss of the store, but Natalie is our CEO, and we always call her the boss. She lives behind the desk, and she just takes attention whenever she can get, but she does bite the hand that feeds, though. Celeste was our original bookstore boss cat. She was actually my house cat before I started the store in 2004. When I started the store, I moved her into the space because I didn't have a place to live. Originally, when I first came to Kauai in 2002, I started selling online on eBay. I used to go to garage sales and just pick stuff up and resell it online for a living. When I moved to Hanapepe in 2004, I got to know a landlord couple, Elsie and Tom Godby, who had the old Shimonishi Orchid and Bead store down the street. They offered me a space free for a month to start a business, and they're a 900 square foot retail space. At the time I thought, okay, this would be good. I could get the eBay stuff out of the house and just have a spot where people can shop. And after that first month, I had made just enough money to either pay the next month's rent on the store or to pay the next month's rent on where I was living. I didn't really know exactly what I should do, so I went over to the Hanapepe swinging bridge down the street, and I'm looking up at the sky and I'm just asking myself, what should I do? Should I do this? Should I go ahead and take this risk? It means I'm gonna be homeless sleeping in the van. And as I asked that question, a full double rainbow appears in the sky. And I said, wow, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Talk Story Bookstore basically was all I had. The store began to make a little bit more money that the landlords offered me a space to rent to live in the apartment above the shop. And so the rest is kind of history. Hi guys, welcome to the bookstore. People love doing treasure hunting. They come in the store and they especially love like the piles of unsorted things that we haven't quite gotten to yet, and they'll dig around in those boxes, which we try to keep as minimal as possible because we're trying to price everything. But I think in a way, because I had the background of selling on eBay, of selling anything and everything, I think the store also allows that possibility to continue. So in addition to books, we've got vinyl records, we've got comic books, we've got vintage video games, we've got retro old magazines, even vintage cassette tapes. There's kind of like something for everybody here. So whatever someone's interest is, we try to find some way to make that section as diverse and interesting as possible for them. We have a system where people can bring in stuff, they get store credit, and they can use that towards their purchases. And what we do is we keep what we can, and whatever we don't keep, we're gonna donate. There's a lot of things I'll go through and I'll be like, oh, this isn't really gonna move for me, but maybe somebody else will find that interesting. And then I'll find other stuff, I'm like, oh wow, that's interesting, or oh, that's obscure. Wow, that's really strange, I'm definitely gonna carry that. So for us, the more unusual, the better. We've come across a lot of rare books over the years. It's not our specialty. I mean, we're not antiquarian dealers, but just being in the nature of the book business, we do come across stuff that's of course antiques or scarce or hard to find or out of print. The rarest book we have is a book from 1851, and it's called The James Traveler's Companion, and it was written for wealthy East Coast Americans who wanted to go explore the West. And it's like a tiny little book, but it's got fold-out maps of the Ohio River and the Mississippi River, and there just weren't that many of them printed. So a book like that usually is like, I don't know, $2,000, right? So that's I would say that's rare. To me, business is about changing and adapting to whatever happens in the world. The store's actually kind of modified itself over the years. One of the biggest changes was when Borders went bankrupt in 2011. That forced us to then actually start carrying a lot more new books and new releases than we had prior. With things like Amazon and Kindles and digital reading in general, I haven't found so much that has decreased sales as it has actually expanded the reading base of people who actually enjoy books. Then once they really love it, they want an archival copy. They want that physical copy that they can hold and share with others. And it's just something about our And I suppose our visceral nature, something tangible that we can hold in our hands. Yeah, we have a lot of regular customers, for sure. Customers have been coming for years and years and years. And it's interesting too, because we get to know them. And sometimes we see them like when they're young kids, and then we see them become adults, and then we see them have their own kids. And it's just amazing to be in one place for that long. It's fascinating. I've never been able to have that kind of experience until I came here. Hanapepe is a really unique place in Kauai. It's one of the few towns that was not built by the plantations. And it was actually a town founded mostly by entrepreneurs in its current form. This building, for instance, was the old Yoshiura store, which was a general market that was established in 1930, and then they built this building in 1933. So this building's almost an antique. I mean, it's just got a few more years, and then it'll cross that 100-year threshold. The building has got a lot of character. People love the creakiness of the floors. They love the tall ceilings. They love that there's areas in the floor which aren't quite square. There's a little bow here and there, but I think that adds to the character of the space, the character of the store, and we're grateful to be here. Our landlord, who was originally Elsie Nishi, the Nishi family, they're the ones who own this, and we've actually had 3 different generations of the Nishi family allow us to continue to be here after all these years. And yes, we are the westernmost bookstore in the United States. Alaska does go further west than us. They are actually the northern, eastern, and westernmost state in the United States, but there are no bookstores further west in Alaska from this point. And if somebody opened up one just a little further, it's okay. We just put the original westernmost bookstore. We do what we can. I have great help. I have people who have helped me out over the years who are still working here today. My wife is invaluable. I mean, she is my inspiration every day. In fact, the Mochi Celeste cat stickers that you see in the shop, those are based on our former boss cat, Celeste. And those are the hottest items I've ever sold in my life. Everyone else who's helped me in the shop, they're my inspiration too. Because I didn't know anything when I started this store. I knew nothing. I had no background in business. I had no background in books or retail. And if it wasn't for the helping hands and guidance of everyone else around me over the years, they're the reasons we're here. I've always thought books are a really great thing. I've always enjoyed being around books. I wouldn't call myself a bookie, or a person that's like a book addict, but I've always had a great respect for the printed word, freedom of press, freedom of speech. And one of the things that I love about selling books is that it's a product that 99% of the time, it makes people happy. I mean, almost all the transactions, people are just like, oh, I've been looking for this book everywhere. This is so great that you have this. And it's just amazing to be in a business that makes people feel satisfied and happy. It's not just fulfilling a basic need, it's fulfilling something deeper inside them that's feeding who they are. That's incredible. It's an honor to be in a business like that.
Mahalo for joining us. PBS Hawaii continues the tradition of storytelling because of your generosity. If you'd like to support our mission, please visit pbshawaii.org and click on the donate button. For Home is Here, I'm Kala'i Miller. Ahui ho.